Hi guys, thanks for tuning into the Scan Tool Network. So in this video we're going to be doing a short run through and just a basic sort of overview of the iCarsoft VAWS version 3.0 tool, so that if you order this tool you know exactly what to expect and what the screens will look like and what functions it will and won't carry out. Now the vehicle that we're in right now is an Audi A6, but obviously this tool will cover a lot more than Audi. It'll do all the VAG range really, so it'll do Audi, Seat, Skoda, VW, it'll do Bentley and some Lamborghinis as well, even Bugatti to an extent. But if you are interested in this tool, I'd recommend picking it up from Diagnostic World. It's www.diagnostic-world.com. I'll pop the link to that in the description below this video. The reason being is that there are fakes, there are clones on the market, and they can damage your vehicle. So it's not worth going down the route of getting a fake. Just please go through the route of getting the genuine and official product. Okay, so we got this tool plugged into the diagnostic port of the vehicle. So we got a cable coming out of the top of the tool, and it's actually going in under the diagnostic port, which is right down there, the bottom right hand corner. And what we'll do is we'll show you basically what the tool will cover. So first of all, click into diagnostics, then it's going to give you your specific manufacturer, so you can see all the manufacturers that it covers. It'll also do some commercial vehicles as well, and the VW LT3, but right now we are in an Audi, so we're just going to click onto Audi. Now what you can do is you can either select your vehicle manually from a long list, or the best thing to do, well actually while we're here I'll just show you what it'll cover. Now you can see generally says up to 2019. I have had this working on a 2021 car, so it will work on generally 2020, 2021 cars as well up to this point. Now at the time of making this video it's December 2022, so if you're watching this video in like a year's time or 2 years time, the chances are the database of this tool will have updated to show newer cars as well. So that's just a basic sort of overhaul of what vehicles it will cover for the Audi in any case. But the quick thing to do is just go VIN identity, and what it'll do is if you press enter and then it reads the VIN number, so it automatically finds your vehicle and it'll automatically get you into this screen here, which is where you can either do quick tests on the specific vehicle, you can do an auto scan of the whole vehicle, so it scans the whole vehicle. If you're not exactly sure where the fault is and you want the tool to just scan the whole vehicle, then it'll do that and it'll show you where a specific fault is. What we're going to do though in this case, just to show you, is the control unit, and what this does is this gives us a long list of all the systems which are available for us to diagnose in this particular vehicle. Now let's say you were in a VW Golf. The list of options on this screen might be different depending on what options are installed to that specific vehicle. So in this vehicle it's telling us we can get up to 88 different modules to diagnose and reset. Okay, so what I'm going to do is, we've got the engine, we've got the transmission, the ABS brakes, and then we've got a lot more systems. It'll go down like airbag will be there as well. And what I'll do is I'll just scroll down and you can have you get a basic idea of the systems that it will cover. Generally what I would say is these tools will cover all systems within your vehicle, so no matter what vehicle you've got, they are classed as an all system scanner. Okay, so just bear that in mind, and bear that in mind that the options that you're going to see on this screen here, or the systems you're going to see on this screen here, may well differ to your specific vehicle. Okay, so we're just scrolling through. And then what we'll do is we'll get back to the first page, and I'll show you this tool actually diagnosing and resetting a warning light and on the dashboard of this Audi A6. So we've got, if you look here, we've got an airbag light on this dashboard, and what I'm going to do is, this was just a loose connection underneath the passenger seat, so I'm going to go in and I'm going to get this reset. So we'll click onto airbag. Alright, we'll click onto read fault code. So that's an example of what you will get. You will get a unique fault code, a description of the fault. Now Nobody's born with the ability to understand and sort of automatically decipher this terminology. It's not. It sort of gives you some basic information, but you may not necessarily know what it means. My advice is to put this information into a Google search engine, and I can guarantee if you're getting this fault, somebody else will also have had that fault, and the answer as to what you need to do to fix that fault will be there on Google. I can almost guarantee it. 99% of the ones that we see a lot of faults, so we generally know what a specific fault is and what needs to be done to fix that specific fault. But if there's ever one that we're not too sure on, we just go to Google as well, and the forums are a massive help because you're getting first-hand experience from people that have actually had these faults. Okay, but in this case we just looked at the passenger connection was loose, so we put it back together, and if we click on clear fault memory, do that. When I click OK, just keep an eye on that airbag light. It might take a second or two. It says erase operation done, and now that has gone. Okay, so we know that's been done successfully. Okay, so that is one aspect of the tool, the diagnosing and resetting the codes and the warning lights side of things. If we go back to the very main page, I'm going to show you the service icon. Okay, now these are sort of special functions or service functions as they're also known. So you've got things like oil reset, electronic park and brake, new battery registration, electronic throttle calibration, steering angle sensor, DPF regeneration, injector coding, suspension calibration, headlamp adjustment, and that seems to be it for this one. Now, just because these options are here doesn't necessarily mean they will all work on your vehicle. Best thing to do for that is to go back into the diagnostic side of things, select your vehicle, as I'll show you here, VIN identify, yep, so we'll just read that, and then when you get past that screen, go down to the service menu here, and this will show you which of those service functions are applicable to your specific vehicle. Now in this case it looks like we've got all of them, which is good. So if you say you might, depending on your vehicle, you might only have like 5, sort of like this says 2 of 9, so you might only have of 5 if your vehicle could only access 5 of the special functions. If you wanted to know before you even bought the tool, then just give Diagnostic World an email with the VIN number of your vehicle and they can check for you. Okay, so that is the service side of things. Now it also does it'll do like actuation tests as well. So if we click on to control unit as an example, we'll try and get access to, say, the one of the doors. If we go to the passenger door, it should be on here, and let's say for example you've got like a seat driver's side. I'm just trying to find this door electronics driver's side. Oh, we need door electronics passenger side. There we go. Right, so let's say for example you're pressing the switch for the windows on the window and nothing's happening. You don't necessarily know as to whether it's the switch that's at fault or whether it's the motor itself that's at fault. So this is a quick way to check. So you can do actuation test, and then what you could do is you could test the motor. So if the motor works, then we know it's the switch. Okay, if the motor doesn't work, then we know it's the motor. So if we click F1, it's doing the locks. And we do F1 for the next one, mirror function. F1 start. So it's moving the mirrors up and down. Although you can't see it on screen, I can see just by looking at the mirror there. If we click on next, that's going to be the heating. Next, lighting. Yeah, that works. Shows the lights. Window regulator, so this should lower the window, like I was saying. There we go. You probably heard that. But we'll now put it up. There we go. So you didn't see that, but you get the idea, and you probably heard the window going up and down there. So it does actuation tests, bi-directional as well. So that is just basically a great function of this particular tool, to test motors, to test switches, to make sure, well, it just makes it easier for you to diagnose where a specific fault is. Now, one thing I want to show you on this tool is a function which is not well known about. It doesn't work on all vehicles. I would say generally we've had it working on vehicles from say 2013 onwards, whereby it'll allow you to check the genuine mileage of a vehicle. So let's say, for example, on the speedo of this car it says 95,502. If this had been clocked, generally what happens is the people who are clocking these vehicles, they will clock the mileage on the dashboard only, and they don't clock the mileage on the ECU. So this tool is actually gives you the option to find out what the genuine mileage of the ECU says, as opposed to just checking it on there. And to do that, we go to the engine system, we go to view data. Now I can't actually remember where it is in this, so I'm gonna have to go through these. I'll try and go through them as quick as possible, but what we're looking for is a thing called vehicle distance driven, something along those lines. I think it's in the second one, but total distance, no, it's different. Yeah, the thing is, there's so much live data that you can look at for this car, that finding a specific piece of live data can take a bit of time getting through it. Right, so if we click onto vehicle distance driven here, that tells us that it's in kilometers. So that tells us that this vehicle has been driven 153,698 kilometers, which is equal to 95,502. Check it if you want. So that gives us a good indication that this vehicle hasn't been clocked, okay? And like I say, it'll work on a lot of other vehicles as well, but generally, if you're wanting to buy it for that purpose alone, then I would say only do it if your vehicle is like 2013 or newer, because the older ones, it doesn't give you this option to check the vehicle mileage of the ECU, okay? And that is about it. I mean, there is other bits of live data you could look at as well. Like, let me just show you, for example. The problem is there's just so much. I mean, I'm trying to find something that might be useful. Mass airflow meter, so you can see it's fluctuating there, and there's loads of different types of like mass airflow sensor. You can get fuel trims, you can get like map sensors, live datas, lots of actual values, accelerator pedals. So let's say, for example, it's got 0 there. I'm gonna put my foot on the accelerator here. It should start moving. There we go. So it's now at like say 10.5%. It's now at going up to 20, 30, 23, 25, 30%, and I'll bring it back down. So it just gives you a snapshot of exactly how that vehicle is performing at any given point, okay? And that is a really good way of also finding if a specific sensor or a specific part of the vehicle is not working properly. And it does it on all systems, so it'll do like ABS. So if you think you've got a faulty ABS sensor, then you can view the live data for those sensors as you're driving, and if one of them is showing 0 value, then you know that sensor is faulty. You'll probably get a fault code to sort of go along with that, but sometimes it doesn't always work like that. But anyway, there we go. So that is just a real quick snapshot and an overview of the iCarsoft VAWS version 3.0 tool. Like I say, if you are interested in this kit, just use the link in the description below this video, because there are fakes, there are clones out there. They can damage your vehicle, unfortunately. I've seen it happen, so it's just not worth going down that route. But if you are interested, use the link in the description below this video. Thanks for watching, and I hope this helps.